How are you? My name is Michelle Connor. I'm your VCS for Living Environment. Today we're going to be looking at two protocols. We're going to be looking at the See, Think, Wonder protocol and the I used to think, but now I think. So to start with the See, Think, Wonder protocol, it's usually best to use a video or a image for this. It really helps the student unpack information. It's great for a do now or an exit ticket, or to really just get the student started. I'm going to be showing you it on a Google Doc. It could also be done on a Jamboard to do like a class-wide version, which is also a really great idea. So the first thing we want to look at is a little clip of a video just to do like a model. So you'll notice in this lesson there's a video clip built right into the slide, so I just picked a small piece to look at.
And the overarching idea of common descent. Descent with modification is the observable fact that when parents have children, those children often look and behave slightly different than their parents and slightly different than each other. They descend from their parents with modifications. The differences found in offspring are partially due to random genetic mutations. Common descent is the idea that all living things on Earth are related. They descended from a common ancestor. Through the gradual process of descent with modification over many, many generations, a single original species is thought to have given rise to all the life we see today.
So this is a See, Think, Wonder chart. It's really easy to design. Also really simple. It's great that it can kind of be converted into a Jamboard very simply as well for a class-wide one. So the first column is see, so things I see. This is what the students literally see in the image or video. Think, things, this makes me think. And wondering is, or wonder, questions and wonderings I have. Now, I've noticed it works best if you have the students unpack the see, think, and wonder based off the same idea. So sometimes what happens is students will kind of randomly pop in things from the video. It works best, I think, for them if each one of these represent the same idea. So you'll notice, here's an example. In the video, I see a cladogram. So that was at the end of that clip we saw. This makes me think that many organisms share common characteristics. And then a wondering is, I wonder how long it took scientists to figure out the one common ancestor. So this whole thing is based off of the I see column. They all are connected. And I feel like students think deeper if they are able to connect all three, rather than just randomly popping in questions and things and things that they see. So the I used to think, but now I think is really great for exit tickets or after reading or seeing a video that really goes over major misconceptions. Sometimes you're going to get students that say like, oh, I already knew I used to think and think the same thing. And that's fine. I think that's actually great that you kind of address that and kind of have them elaborate on of like maybe where they got that information from. Or maybe like what did they used to think before they learned it the first time. Those are kind of two ways to combat that. So I used to think, but now I think is really great with either a video or a text. It doesn't work so well with an image unless it's a descriptive image showing a process or something like that. I usually use it at the end of like an entire class or after an article or a video. So again, if we just do like a basic example off that very short clip I showed in the beginning of this video, something I can say is I used to think there was no way all organisms can possibly be related. There's no way. I used to think that. But now, after watching that video clip, now I think that there must be one common ancestor based off of the cladogram. I used to think, but now I think. So I like to, again, give the students a model. Be honest. You could think, even if it's not necessarily right now, but something you used to think when you were younger. Um, this is actually something I used to think there's no way that we could possibly be related to plants or anything like that. Like, humans are, very closely related to gorillas. That one's pretty simple, but how can we possibly be related to plants? It doesn't make sense. And then beyond, after like use an example for that, maybe something you used to think, and then information you got from either the text or the video. So if you're doing it directly after the video, I like to kind of include evidence in this, but now I think. So where do they kind of get that new thought from? If it's at the end of the class, you may or may not be able to get them to use evidence, depending upon if it was like finishing an overarching idea or misconception. But if it's from a text or a video clip, you can usually get them to add some form of evidence in the but now I think. So again, this can also be done on a Jamboard as a class, really good for discussion, really good for an exit ticket, and very simple.